You're scrolling, you see the ring, the hand, the caption, finally saying yes to forever. Finally. Like there was a deadline, like she almost missed it. You close the app, your chest tightens, you don't even want to get married. Or you may not think so. Or maybe you did once, but now you're unsure if you're allowed to want things that seem so far out of reach. You're not sure anymore. But something in you just registered. She made it. And you're still here. It's 3 a.m., you're awake again, you're lying in the dark, doing math in your head. If you start now, you'd be 32 by the time you finish. 32, you remember when 32 sounded old, sounded established, sounded like someone who had figured it out. Now it just sounds late. You calculate again, maybe if you work weekends, maybe if you skip. The numbers don't work, they never work. You turn over, close your eyes. But your mind is already calculating something else. How many years until you can afford a house? How many years until you look like you know what you're doing? The numbers keep getting bigger, and you keep getting older. You're at a family gathering. Someone's aunt asks what you've been up to. You start talking, but you can hear yourself doing it. Explaining, adding context, justifying why you're still in this job, this apartment, this version of your life. Like you need permission to exist here, like your life needs footnotes to make sense. You don't remember learning to do this, to turn every answer into a defense, but you do it anyway, every single time someone asks. And afterward, you feel tired of translating your life into something that sounds acceptable. You were 19, you remember sitting in your bedroom, looking at the future as if it were an open field. Infinite. You had time. You remember scrolling through Facebook, seeing people a few years older land real jobs and move to real cities, and you remember thinking, I'll get there. Things will fall into place. You believed the world would arrange itself around you if you just waited long enough. You believed time was on your side. You don't believe that anymore. Now you see those same posts, and something in your throat closes. Someone's starting a company, someone's buying property, someone's getting promoted, getting engaged, getting everything you thought you'd have by now, and you're happy for them. You try to be, but underneath that is something you can't quite put a name to. It whispers, why not you? It whispers, what did you miss? You refresh the feed, you keep scrolling like somewhere in there is the answer to what you did wrong. You've learned not to say it out loud. When someone asks how you're doing, you say, good, busy. You don't say, I feel like I'm running in place. You don't say, I'm 31 and I still don't know what I'm doing, because saying it makes it real. And if it's real, then you have to face the possibility that you may have made a mistake. Maybe you made the wrong turns. Maybe you really are behind. And maybe your friends tell you not to compare. They say everyone moves at their own pace. They say it's never too late. And you nod, you agree, you know they're right, but knowing doesn't stop the feeling. Your body doesn't care what you know. It just tightens, it just waits for proof that you're not failing. And the proof never comes, because there's no finish line. There's just an endless sense that everyone else has the map, and you're still trying to figure out which direction is forward. You're 27, or 31, or 35. The number doesn't matter. What matters is that you thought you'd be further by now. You thought you'd feel different, more certain, more like an adult, but you don't. You feel like a kid pretending, a kid who's running out of time to figure it out. You look at people your age who seem settled, who seem to know where they're going, and you wonder what they have that you don't, what they figured out, what you missed. You keep waiting for the moment, the one where it all clicks, where you finally understand what you're supposed to be doing, where you look around and think, okay, I made it, I'm here. But that moment never comes. You keep moving, you keep trying, but the feeling stays. The feeling that you're always one step behind, always catching up, always late to something you can't even name. People see you at work, they see you at parties, they think you're fine, they think you're handling it. They don't see you awake at 3 a.m. running numbers. They don't see you scrolling job boards, wondering if it's too late to start over. They don't see you at weddings. Are you smiling in photos while your mind is asking, will I ever? You stop yourself. You don't finish the question, because finishing it means admitting you're scared, and you can't afford to be scared. You have to keep moving. You have to keep pretending you know where you're going. There's a version of you that's still 19, still sitting in that bedroom, still believing time will be kind. That version doesn't know yet, doesn't know that the open field gets smaller every year. When those doors start closing, that eventually has an expiration date. You want to go back, you want to tell that version of you to start now, to stop waiting, to stop believing things will just happen, but you can't, so you carry them with you. That 19-year-old who thought they had forever, and every year that passes they get quieter, until all that's left is the feeling they left behind, the feeling that you missed something, and that you were supposed to be somewhere else by now. That time is running out and you still haven't. You're still doing the math, still lying awake, still waiting for the moment when you'll look around and realize you're not behind anymore. But the moment doesn't come, and you're starting to think it never will.